Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just wow. Let me find my sit down properly. Wow. Whew. Whew, 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 whew. Today's training is going to be massive. Today's training could very well be the most important training I have held in this space. I'm going to tune in on my phone so I can see your comments. Okay, awesome. Whew. Serve from soul and sell to the human mind using social media. This could very well be the most important video, piece of content you have ever seen from me. We're going to dive into something really incredible and really, really big today. And you've got to thank the ladies in my membership for the Women in Quantum Sisterhood bring up the most incredible conversations that lift all of us to the level of remembering what we're here to do, serving from soul and serving the souls around us and worldwide with the internet and using social media, but also coming back to how are we turning this gift that we have into a soul-aligned business. And the conversation that spiritual entrepreneurs, mentors, guides, health and wellness professionals, that we are not having enough is the fact that business is a deeply, deeply, deeply act of service. It's a deep act of service to run a business. We have been, I don't know whether we've been brainwashed or whether it's a misconception or whether it's fear of the unknown, but many people believe that running a business is something that selfish people do to make lots of money quickly. Tune in with yourself here. How do you see successful business owners? Are these people performing an act of service? Or do you deep down feel like, well, yeah, they're owning lots of money. It's because that's why they're running a business, just because they want to make lots of money. There's no shame in this. There's no judgment in this. But what we got to get really, really clear about is our subconscious perceptions of the things we say we want and how they play out in our everyday life, how they are running the show underneath. We had a fantastic conversation this morning that I'm going to share a little bit about. This is why the content of today's training has just been amplified and has become so much more potent. Like the content for today is through the roof, simply because of the conversation we had. So when you start a business, the only way, and I'm going to say that with full conviction because I have been at both ends of the spectrum. I started a business. I wanted to share what I've got to say. I wanted for people to get the amazing work that I do. I wanted for people to see the value in my work. I wanted for people to finally understand how much time and effort I'd spend to learn this. I wanted for people to recognize me and value what I do for the effort and time and heart and soul I have poured into my business. Thought, come on guys, see it, this is amazing. See the transformation, see what I can do for you. Here it is on a silver platter. You go, you get it. That was also the time when I wasn't making very much money at all. The beginning of my business, the first couple of years, I was struggling. I was struggling because my focus was on how do I get people to understand the value of my work? How do I get people to see my posts? How do I get people to value what I have to offer? How do I get people, fill in the blanks, see me, value me, understand my work, understand what I'm saying? What you don't understand, especially as a spiritual entrepreneur, conscious entrepreneur, health and wellness professional, you're meant to be absolutely head over heels in love with your tools and methodology that you have mastered. You are meant to be in love. You are meant to be obsessed with the thing, right? This is good ego. Ego is good. We want ego. Ego brings what we are understanding in a higher realm back into 3D. So we get to change lives. So we get to make an impact in this world. Ego is important, right? So your ego is really, really important for cultivating that obsession, that being in love, that cannot not share about this. There's desire, there's craving, there's drive to bring this into the world. Now, this is where the disconnect happens for many people. I'm talking about it. I'm sharing it. People can't see it. People don't want it. People don't engage with my stuff. People are not interacting. People are not getting the value. People are not seeing how potent this is. People are not understanding what this is. This is now where we are bringing our spiritual gifts and our conscious gifts and expertise back into the 3D world. Pay attention here. If you're not making the money in your business that you really want to make, if you're not comfortably making enough money, not just to pay your bills, not just to match the income of your last job, but actually the income that allows you to not look at the price when you go to the restaurant, the type of income that not makes you look at the price tag when you shop in your favorite clothing store and the dress is $200 upwards. That is when you make the money that really makes you feel rich and abundant. Paying the bills is not abundance. Let's not kid ourselves here. That's not what we're here for. And the people in my world are not here for counting money and managing money. We are here to live in overflow and in abundance. And that's exactly what we're meant to do. If you feel like everybody else in your world is meant to live in abundance, then you must allow for yourself, for the abundance to flow through yourself. It starts with you. How can you teach someone abundance? How can you model abundance if you are counting the money in your own life? If you are looking at bills and feeling uptight about paying the bill, that is not abundance. Call yourself out here. Are you living in abundance, or are you promoting the concept of abundance? Very different thing. Living in abundance. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Julie. Living in abundance creates abundance. Promoting abundance creates more of the lack that you're feeling behind the scenes. So what we need to do when we decide our calling is to turn our gifts into a business, right? What do we do? Thank you. It's all glittery and sparkly. It's all part of my my new branding. Watch out. Big things are coming. Thank you so much. So what we need to do when we want to bring these gifts and turn them into a business, remembering that business, hi Simona, remembering, lovely to see you before, you will recognize some of the conversation. Remembering that business is the highest form of service. Why? Our ego is the part that is holding on to the amazingness of our work, and it's meant to. And now as we start a business, we need to remove our ego. What? The reason your people are not paying you every single day, the reason you're not waking up to paid in full, no questions asked, Stripe notifications, the reason it feels hard to work for every client, no matter what price point. The reason is that you are still focused on yourself. Your focus is on, why do they not understand it? Why are they not getting it? Why is no one listening? Why are they not engaging? Why is this not working? How can I make them see the power of this work? This is where business really is an act, the highest act of service, because you now need to remove yourself, and I'm going to tell you in a moment how to do that. You now need to remove yourself, your own needs, your own requirements, your own cravings. Remove your ego and focus fully on the person in front of you, their needs, their focus, what is important to them, and what they are paying attention to. And when you focus on that person, the person who will benefit the most from your offer, who is the ideal dream client, the person who will most likely get results and you love working with, right? When you focus on that person, you remove your ego out of the equation. All of a sudden, it's no longer about you. It's no longer about what you're passionate about. That's driving you, of course, but it's driving you then to remove the ego. It's no longer about your methodology. What? But that's what I'm here for. But that's part of my identity, right? Yep. And that's got to take a step back right now if you want to sell in your business. And we had a very deep conversation with a lady in the Quantum Sisterhood today about, if you want to run your social media to share your soul gifts so that people see you, so that you express yourself, so that people understand you and people understand about soul, that is okay. But that is not how you run a business. Be very clear to remove the frustration. Line in the sand moment. Are you here to inspire people and you're absolutely okay with not making money from it? Fine. It's absolutely fine. It's perfect. Great. But if you are here to bring your work to as many people as possible, serve people, and have people invest in themselves so they get the maximum outcomes, so they are being served, then you have got to treat this methodology, this passion, this obsession, this mission in your life as a business. And you have got to remove what you need out of posting, what you need out of selling, what you need out of expressing your offer. You've got to remove yourself from it. And it doesn't mean you can't talk about what you do. In fact, it is so much easier than you think. The way I teach content in my programs is really, basically, I'm going to share the basics that you can implement right away. The basic is use a sandwich technique. Use a sandwich technique. In last week's training, we already talked about lead with what your people focus on. Then you can talk all day long about how amazing your work is, what your clients have experienced, their results, and how much you're in love with your offer. But then at the end, you must come back to what you have referred to at the beginning of the post. So there's only 2 places in your post. Long copy, short copy, doesn't matter. There's only 2 places in your post where you need to talk about the focus of your ideal client. And that is at the very top and at the very end when you share the invitation to join you in your offer. That is all. Play, feel free, talk about how obsessed you are. But selling online does not work without you talking to what your person is focused about, right? So the conversation with my client was about making a decision that you want to run a business about this and you want to make money with this. And it's not about you making money. The universe provides the flow of money when you show that you are providing a service. There is no money flow without service. And yes, I can hear you coming back. But Christine, there are misaligned entrepreneurs and there are people who are using tactics and betraying other people for money. Yes, there are. And I invite you to look at things just the way they are here. What are these people providing to that person who's lost their money? A lesson, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to understand themselves and their lives and their priorities better. In my opinion, there is no positive or negative. There's only invitations to grow, invitations to learn and grow. Yes, there are people who do awful things with money, but you get to choose whether you want to be one of them. You get to choose whether you want to spend your money on useless things or negative things or harmful things, or you want to donate your money and spend it on charity. Like, you get to choose that. Don't give your power away here. You get to choose what type of person you are with lots of money. You get to choose what type of person you are in the moment. You don't have to be awful just because you have an overflow of abundance in your finances. You don't have to be selfish. You don't have to be bitter. You don't have to be lonely. You get to choose. Like, put yourself back into the driver's seat here. You are the creator of your life. Let it sink in for a moment. Feel that in your heart for a moment. What if you could be the most amazing person you've ever aspired to be with an overflow of money? You could be the person when the people in the shopping mall say, hey, we're looking for donations for the animal shelter. Yes, I'm not just giving $20, I'm giving $500. Yes. You get to decide to be that person with money. You get to decide to give the homeless person in the streets $5. You get to decide to treat your kids to a trip. You get to decide to treat yourself, to buy the most expensive meal in the restaurant for yourself, to enjoy this life. What the heck's your soul going to do in this lifetime if you're not enjoying it? If you're constantly looking at, how can I save money? How can I, think smaller? How can I stay safe? This is not what you're here to do. Hi, Karina. Hi, everyone. So good. All in one post. You add those items. All in one post. Teresa, my lovely. There is obviously more of an in-depth, post structure that I use with my clients. But the conversation on how to serve from soul and sell to the human mind is really about the simplicity of, it's got to have an element. Your content has got to have an element of focusing on your client, of focusing on service. If you're not focused on what your people want, they won't pay attention to your content. The person, I can't say this often enough, the person who pays attention pays you. The person who doesn't relate to what you're saying scrolls past. They won't even see your offer. They won't even get to understand your magic. But you've got to talk about what they want first. And therefore, business is actually the highest form of service, because you really want to get into understanding what is it that grabs their attention? What are they focused on? What are they working towards? What are they doing with their lives? What makes them move? We simplify this, of course, in Soul-Fueled Sales, in the Quantum Sisterhood. But these questions alone, when you write them down and journal on them and learn from your past clients, learn from conversations you have with people online, you get a lot of value from that. What do they want? And you may say, right, many of my clients come to me and say, oh, but Christine, I don't just want to talk about money wins. I'm not interested in promising 10K a month. It just doesn't feel aligned. I want to share my soul's gifts, and I want to share my technique for people to live in alignment and feel harmony and feel healthy and feel just feel wonderful within themselves, right? Cultivate that personal power, feel courageous, feel bold, feel brave, change their life. And I get it, right? I'm a spiritual entrepreneur myself. I get it. This is the real work. But if your person, the person who needs this work the most, is focusing on an external result, on making more money, on finding the person to marry, on whatever your ideal client is, right? If you don't talk about what they care about, they won't pay attention to your post. They won't pay attention to the inner work. And you are missing an opportunity to serve them and really help them to transform their lives. And that, I feel, is the saddest part with spiritual entrepreneurs, when they're sabotaging themselves so much, is when they get caught up in, I just want to serve. Yeah, if you just wanted to serve, you would be learning to sell. Even if 1 million people are in your audience learning from you for free, no one is ever, and please listen to my advice from 5 years of business experience, having given away free stuff multiple times. Never again. I won't say I regret it, because obviously I embraced the lesson. Never again. I don't give away free stuff. Why? Because people who don't engage in an energetic exchange won't be invested. People who don't invest won't be invested. It's as simple as that. This right now is my free content. This is my gift to you. This is where I serve. Do I feel that you get 1 million times better results when you work with me and engage in that energetic exchange when you pay me? Of course. Absolutely. No doubt. Can you get great results just by consuming my free content? 100%. I'm here to serve. But the way I serve you the best to my ability is by selling to you and leaving the choice up to you. You don't have to buy from me. It's absolutely fine. If you get results with my free content, yay! I love it. But I'm absolutely 1,000,000% convinced that you'll get the best results faster, with more ease, when you join my world. I make no apologies for that. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you grow fast. That's my passion. All right. What do we need to do? I promised you, I'm going to give you solutions. What do we need to do in order to remove our ego and focus on the person? When sometimes it feels we have that very strong pull. We have that very strong pull that there is so much resistance. I don't want to do this. I just can't make myself to show up. I'm so scared. I'm so confused. I don't know what to say. No one is engaging. No one is buying, right? When we feel those things, excuse me, when we feel those things, what can we do to remove our ego and go full into service? Full into service, to use our business as a vehicle of service. Everybody get the lesson? Everybody get the memo? Our business is a vehicle of service. So how do we remove our ego? Here's the thing that I've observed in many years now. Many years. When I say many years, most of my 5 years in business. Here's the thing that I've observed, and observed in myself as well. For people who mentors, spiritual guides, coaches, soul-led and heart-led entrepreneurs, what I've observed in every single one of them, I cannot think of any person who hasn't experienced this. The thing that drove them to their strongest desire of service usually started with a heartbreak, started with trauma, started with an incredible challenge that they weren't sure they were going to able to conquer, started with a really, really low point, rock bottom in their life. So the story to develop spiritual gifts, focus on the heart, focus on service, in my experience, always, if you know an example, let me know. But it's always at least focused with the perceived unmet need. For example, didn't feel loved as a child, didn't feel consistently, I should say, given the attention and love that they felt they needed. Something like that. There's something always under there. A hardship, a heartbreak, a trauma, a challenge, that need of love and security and attention not consistently provided. And that is okay, right? Let's put it out on the table. We're here for raw and honest conversations. Let's just put it out there. This is why we have developed these gifts that we have. We have developed spiritual gifts. We have developed sensitivity to pick up on people's emotions. We have developed the ability to tune into people. We've developed that desire to connect through service. This is fantastic. It's led to your gifts. Yay! Yay! It's making sense of the challenge. It's making sense of the hardship, the heartbreak, the trauma, because now you're here to blossom and share your gifts with the world and impact lives. This is phenomenal. All right? So now we want to turn this into a business. We want to reach more people. We want to have more impact. So now, what happens now? We need to come back to our human self. We sell to the human mind. Holy crap, why is no one buying? Because you're focused on your journey still. Because you're focused on your needs still. You need to feel seen. Your need for attention, aka likes and engagement. Your need to feel understood. Why is no one getting it? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with me? As long as you're in that cycle, you're not selling, your business is not serving anyone. So in order to remove the ego and truly focus on what our client needs to hear, we need to give ourselves what we need and what we're craving underneath. If you feel, well, no one is understanding me, tune in with yourself right now. What are you getting frustrated about on social media? What is the thing? If you could have anything you wanted from your audience on social media, what would it be? They understand what you do. They see you for who you are. They pay attention to your posts. What is it? Now that very thing, that word that comes up, one word will come up. I just want to feel understood. People to see my content. People to pay attention. Whatever word comes up for you right now is the very thing that you need to give yourself. The very thing. This is the gap that created your amazing spiritual gifts. Didn't feel seen, didn't feel heard, didn't feel appreciated, didn't feel getting the attention, didn't feel loved unconditionally, right? This is brilliant. Oh, Una, good to see you. Hi, Lisa. I'm so glad you could make it. There's honestly, Una, I'm not going to lie about this. This is freaking brilliant. If you haven't watched it from the beginning, I recommend, like, this is what your entire spiritual business is built on. Like, this is the training. If there's no other training you ever watch from me, watch this training from the beginning. I actually think I probably need to sell it at some point. This is phenomenal. Oh my God. So give yourself the thing. How in your daily life, again, what I said to my beautiful client this morning, you don't have to meditate for 3 hours a day to pay attention to yourself. You can stand in the shower and tune in. How am I feeling in my body right now? What I don't mean by that is, well, I'm feeling really angry because my mum said something wrong and that triggered me, and because it's always about my dad and this makes me feel like this. This is not paying attention to yourself. This is paying attention to the mind chatter. When you're in the shower and you're standing in the shower and you're like, how do I feel right now? It's like, oh, it's a bit tight in that shoulder. Oh, I feel a bit of tension in my chest. Oh, I feel that excitement in my stomach. Pay attention to that. Sit with that. This is loving yourself and giving yourself attention. Not here, but here. Here, right here in your heart. This is where you give yourself the love and affection and attention that at some point you wish you'd had on the way. And because you didn't have that, you developed your spiritual gifts, which is a great thing. There's no right or wrong here. There's nothing wrong about this. I want to highlight this. But you were able to develop those gifts that you have spiritually, health and wellness, sensitivity, heart-led, soul-led expression of your magic. You developed that because at some point there was something lacking, and so you had to find another way. 3D alone just didn't make perfect sense. It was just not covering all the things that you needed, right? So now, in order to sell these things, we need to come back and cover those things that we need and bring our ego over here to the side and take care of that and nurture ourselves as a human being in order to then come back and fully focus on service in our business, focus on the other person. As I said earlier, this is not about just talking about 10K months and talking about instant manifestations. It's not about that. It's about specificity. What do people really want? If you're a relationship coach, for an example, right? Relationship coach. It's not about manifesting your soulmate overnight. That's not, if that feels icky to you, you don't have to talk about it. But go and understand your audience. What do they truly want? Hey, I show you how to date. Maybe your ideal client is no longer interested in dating. They've been on 200 dates and they're over it. But you know, and in your heart and in your soul, that what you teach your clients is so amazing. They will find the person they will forever be happy with, their soulmate. Now pay attention to your client. What do they want? They want to get married and start a family. This is what you need to talk about. This is where it is vital that you take care of the needs of your human self so that you can come back in your business with no need attached behind advertising and sharing your gifts, and fully focus on what are your people expressing, what they desire, what they're focused on. Your people are not focused on dating. They're focused on getting married, and they don't know whether it's going to happen for them. Your people may not even be focused on 10K months. They are focused on serving. Conversation we had this morning in the membership, right? It's not about money, numbers, weight loss. It's not about losing 5 kilos in 5 days. It's about feeling desirable when you enter a room. That is what weight loss is about. When you enter a room and you feel men's eyes magnetized by your presence. Ooh, I can feel that. This is a specific outcome. You can tell me black or white whether you've achieved that. It's not about numbers. It's not just about money. And we need to let go of the idea that everything that's advertised in the online world is just about money. It is not. It is about a specific outcome, a moment in time where I can see myself in, whether that is looking at my bank account, whether that is getting married, exchanging the rings, whether that is entering the room and seeing 3 men instantly turn their heads looking at me. That is as tangible as $10,000 in your bank account. I really want you to understand this. You don't have to talk about things that feel icky to you, but you do need to pay attention to where your client is focused on and really get to understand them. What do they say they want and what do they really want? That moment in time where they feel, yes, I've achieved my highest dream. Whether it's about weight loss, whether it's about relationship, whether it's about income or impact, whether it's about anything in life, whether it's about buying a house, whether it's, right? Like, I've achieved the thing. You need to know what that is. That is your that is your responsibility as a business owner. Again, business is the highest form of service. And there's one more thing I want to say. When people tell me, I just want to talk about the soul and ascension and healing, what that does is, again, my experience in 5 years, I can't think of any exception from that. But when you speak to healing as a goal, soul ascension as a goal, spirituality as a goal, when you speak to those things as a goal, you're very much more likely to attract people who don't have a focus in life, a 3D focus in life. People who don't have a 3D focus in life, as in, I want to get married, I'm working towards helping 100 people in my business, I'm working towards buying a house for myself, I'm working towards fitting in this gorgeous dress that's been hanging unused in my wardrobe for 2 years, right? If people don't have a focus on that, on how they're translating working with you into the 3D, they're less likely to take action, they're less likely to be committed, they are more likely to need motivation from you, and they are more likely to come up with excuses why whatever you're doing is not going to work for them. And all in all, they're less likely to buy because they don't have a focus. The rational mind buys. The human mind makes the decision, the final decision. Of course, they're excited about your content. Of course, they're excited about your energy and they're drawn in. But if their mind can't see that energetic exchange, why am I paying the money? They won't move. So speak to the people with a focus. It is only benefiting your business and benefiting the mission you have been given in this lifetime. It's benefiting the mission to focus on what the person with a very strong goal or desire wants, because these are the people who benefit the most. And the more you share client wins, testimonials, results, the more the people who haven't been that clear on their focus yet, who haven't been ready to move, they will be drawn in by your energy and drawn towards you to finally take that step and invest themselves. Hi, Ellie. Okay, awesome. We're still on. We'll get a bit of Wi-Fi coming in and out. Right. I went for a walk yesterday, and here's what came through on this walk, which fits perfectly. You are the guardian of your gifts. You're the guardian. You made an agreement before you entered this world that you're here on the mission. So your gifts are not just about you. They're not about you, in fact. You're the guardian, and you're the person who is now helping those gifts to reach the world in 3D. Business is the highest act of service. Be the guardian of your gifts. Like, honor your gifts. Honor your story. The pain, the heartbreak, the trauma, the feeling of not having your needs met on a human level. Honor those experiences. And you're honoring these experiences by growing your business and serving in your business. The highest form of service is growing a business, because it requires you to get to know people and speak to what people really care about, so that they get to experience the transformation you are able to guide them through and help them with. But otherwise, your gifts will be unused. Your experience that you had that led you to the gifts, not honored. Honor that experience. Honor your pain by sharing the gold that has come from it. And think of the sandwich technique, right? You can talk about your methodology all along, but your person needs to know at the beginning and at the end of your post, why should they pay attention? The person who pays attention pays you. This is how you serve from soul and sell to the human mind in the simplest way possible, right? If you want to dive deeper into this, if you want to learn potentiality marketing, again, marketing that's not focused on the pain, that's not focused on what can go wrong, but actually draws in people. This is how I get paid in my sleep. Actually draws in people to pay you without ever having a conversation with you, is about talking about what's possible for them, speaking to their soul, Your soul knows that you're a limitless being. Anything is possible. When you convey that in your content, people pay attention and people pay you. People don't want to be told that they can't have XYZ, right? People are tired because they're hearing that in their minds all day long. You can't have what you want. This is not available to you. This is not possible. When you market to people's soul, you say, yes, you can have your cake and eat it too. I'll show you how. Let's go. This is what speaks to soul, to the limitless part of yourself. Activate that part and you'll sell in your sleep. All right. What's coming up for us in the Quantum Sisterhood? I hope you like this training today. I just want to share one quick thing with you. What's coming up is an incredible challenge to translate your vision into your messaging, to sweeten up that messaging and sweeten up your socials so that people instantly love and trust you and you don't need to warm them up for weeks and months and years. And the potentiality marketing that I was just talking about to amplify your sales and sign clients in your sleep. If that sounds like something you would like to experience in your business while being authentic, while serving from soul, but understanding how to sell to the human mind, we have an incredible challenge starting next week, the Messaging Mastery in May challenge. It's run. The best thing about this, oh my God, it's so exciting. The best thing about it, it's run in the Quantum Sisterhood. So you actually get exclusive access for a week. Your ticket covers you for the week in Quantum Sisterhood. You get access to all the trainings, all the call recordings. You can go through there and use it as your playground and to really dive into all the gold that is in there. And it's a really low investment. It's ridiculous. It's only $55. $55 for a 5-day challenge that runs over a weekend where we won't have training. So you get 7 days of access. And if you choose to join by tonight Pacific time, you will get early access to the group. A few ladies have already decided. I know, Teresa, you already joining us. You get access from Monday next week, and you'll be live for our guest expert on soulmate relationships and soulmate clients through feminine communication. It's going to be so amazing. I adore this woman, and I can't wait for her guest expert. This alone is worth like $500 a ticket. She sells her master classes for like, I think 111 or something. So this alone is worth more than the investment. Plus the 5-day challenge is going to be incredible. We're going to have so much fun in there. You get access to 2 Q&A calls during that time as well. So the value that you get is it's just ridiculous. I'm going to stop talking about this. It's absolutely phenomenal. The membership, the challenge, the guest expert. Message me directly if you need anything. If you just want the link and want to see what exactly is included day by day and the time zones for the trainings, go to the pinned post on my personal profile. All the information is in there. In the comments, there's a link, and you can go through in your own time what we cover each day, what the transformation is, and the times that the live trainings will be held as well. It's obviously lifetime access. And if you have any questions or you can't find the link, simply direct message me. But finally, what I want to share today, when you serve from soul and you sell to the human mind, the most important thing that you need to know is that you lead always with what your client is focused on. Always. Business is not about you. Business is the highest form of service. How to turn your soul's mission, the service that you're here to provide, into a flourishing business that reaches more people, impacts more lives, changes the world. If you want to go deeper on that, join us in the challenge. Go to the pinned post on my profile or message me directly. So much love from my heart to yours. If you're watching the replay right now, I would love if you could put in the comments what stood out for you. One aha moment, one breakthrough. What are you going to do differently? The first thing that comes to mind. So much love. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you same time right here next week. Bye.